I didn't do all the right things. I didn't say all the right things. I didn't look the right way all the time. But it's just like, I'm still learning, but I'm always going to learn. And whoever's watching me, if you're in the same path, you're always going to learn. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be 100% at anything. It doesn't matter if you've been teaching for 1 year, 5 years, 30 years. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be telling you all 5 things that I wish I knew before becoming a teacher. If you want to hear about the 5 different things that I experienced or I learned throughout my first year teaching, just stay tuned. I would say one of the main things that I wish I would have known before teaching was the level of confidence you had to have. As a young teacher, I had to develop a certain level of confidence, not just, in my pedagogy, just in my content. I had to have confidence in myself. For me to stand up in front of 20 kids per class period, I might see 100 kids per day. It's one of those things where you have to build it within yourself. You have to trust that you know. And even if you don't know, learn it, because the kids don't know that you don't know. Just being real as a teacher, as a first year teacher, the kids don't really know that you don't know unless you show that you don't know. And so there are times where I had to run back and research some things or make sure I brush up on my skills. That way I'm able to teach the students, more effectively. You're literally acting. You're not being fake, but you're the star of the show. You come in, the students, they're waiting on your every word because they don't know what to do, and they're waiting on their teacher to guide them, to lead them. And so if you come off like, hey guys, good morning, I'm just, we're gonna go to page 20. First of all, they're gonna tune you out. Secondly, that's not showing confidence. Versus, good morning, y'all. All right, so today we're going to be learning about the different types of planets. Who can raise their hand and tell me? It's really like they're gonna feed off of what you give. So however you come in, whatever energy you bring, that's what they're going to vibe off of. And that's something that I noticed. Confidence plays a huge, huge role in being a teacher. Second thing that I wish that I would have known before teaching kind of goes in with number 1, but it's a little bit different, which is discipline. How you operate in discipline in your personal life, it really bridges the gap, or really spills over into how you teach and the level of organization you have. If you're a messy person, I'm not meaning like messy like gossip. I'm saying like messy, like you're unorganized. You really don't really know where your thoughts are. You really can't stay focused on one thing. You have different things going on in your life that's really confusing. Then you're going to be unorganized in the workplace. You're going to be unorganized with grading papers. You're going to be unorganized with keeping up with the students' things and getting them out in a timely manner because you don't have that discipline. And so this is one thing that I learned this year. Like, I have to be disciplined in my actual personal life. That way, when it translates over to being disciplined in my work life, it's an alignment. It's like the same thing, because teaching will literally break you down to build you up. And I would say that for me, because there were things that I had to realize. Just because you graduated and got a 4-year degree doesn't mean you know everything. You actually don't know anything. You're starting off at zero experience. It doesn't matter how many classes you observed. If it's not your name on the door, you don't know. And so be open with that. Appreciate that you don't know, and appreciate the journey of learning. Ooh, that's a whole nother video. But with me, the more I was disciplined and the more I got self right, which means spiritually, however you get self right, if that means praying in the morning, or if that means praying in between each classes, or if that just means, doing what you need to do on the weekends, going for walks, getting massages, whatever you need to do to get self right and get that mental right and that inside right, do it. Do whatever you need to do, because once you go into the classroom, whatever you're lacking or whatever you have going on, the kids feel it. They feel it. They feel the energy. They feel the frustration. They feel the aggravation. They feel it. They feel the lack of preparation. They feel that. And that's a whole nother video as well. It's like they feel that. If you're not prepared, they feel it. If you're throwing stuff together, they feel it. And so just having that organization or having that discipline really in your own personal life helps the students. It helps everything flow. It helps you as a person because you're not trying to pull things out of the sky and make things work together when everything's already in place. So number 3 is classroom management. I'm gonna just say this right now. Classroom management is something that you will have to define for yourself. What does that look like to you? No teacher, no professor can teach you really what classroom management is. They can tell you what the broad general definition might be, is how well you maintain your classroom or how your classroom flows or your rituals or routines. But that's something that you're going to have to learn about, because there are many times where I'm gonna just say it right now. I didn't do all the right things. I didn't say all the right things. I didn't look the right way all the time. Like, as a young teacher and just diving into this field, and the students knowing that you're young, the students trying you, the students trying to figure out what they can get over, what they can't. They're not dumb, y'all. They're smart. They really are. And you really have to figure out new ways to outsmart them to make sure it makes your life easier, and not just for your life, but the students that are in the classroom that do what they're supposed to do. You know, you want to make sure it's a conducive environment for learning. And so classroom management is something that took a toll on me this year. Like I said, I didn't do everything right. And I'm not proud of how I reacted or how I respond to certain students or how I let them get under my skin. And that's why I kind of stress so heavy on point 1 and point 2, because how well you are disciplined, how well you get self-right, your confidence, you will know that it ain't that deep. And that goes into number 4. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. If a student needs a pencil, and in the community that I serve, they might not have a pencil. Some students wake themselves up. Some students really don't have. Some students are their parents. Okay, they are their parent and they are their sibling's parent. They're not trying to hear about not having a pencil. Just give me a pencil. And so I'm still trying to figure out that whole process of having 101 students ask me for a pencil when it's in the middle of the year. But at the same time, sometimes, most of the time, just give them the pencil. Or if a student says something under their breath or you catch something, pick your battles, because focusing and targeting that one student or focusing on what they did when it's like 15, 20 other students that need your assistance or that want to be there to learn, or that just needs that nurturing, feel from a teacher, they don't want to hear all that. They just want to do what they need to do, get their work done, and move on with their day. Because who knows what they experienced before they even walked into your classroom or before they even walked through the school doors. Those main 4 things, they lead up into each other, which always goes back to the main idea. And that's making sure that your environment for learning is conducive for the students and that they are learning. Lastly, for number 5, I will say, along with picking your battles, make these relationships. I wish I would have known how big relationships are, before teaching. And of course, we touch on different things in, the education program. But like, if a student trusts you, they are not going to give you hell. They're going to literally stick up for you. And they're going to make sure that no other student talks bad on your name, because they feel that bond with you. And some students, especially, and I keep going back to the community that I serve, because I don't serve in a predominantly white community. I don't serve in where things are just handed to students. I serve in a community that students have to literally work for what they have and work their butts off just to make it out of what situation that they're in. And so I have a different love and a different feel for them, because I see it. I know it's rough. And so when you make those relationships with those students, even the ones that give you a hard time, when you have situations and just bring real life into the picture, like breaking it down and just being real with these students, it's like they're like, oh, this person cares. They didn't just kick me out. Usually I'm used to getting kicked out, yelled at, sent to ISS, like stuff like that. Taking that time out, and that's not to say interrupt your class every day or just to have a little pep talk, because it should be growth. But I realized that building these relationships and building these bonds, even with other teachers, as a first year teacher, I needed so much support, and I ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. And that's why for the longest, I did not want to post anything about my teaching experience, which is kind of selfish. But it's just like, I'm still learning, but I'm always going to learn. And whoever's watching me, if you're in the same path, you're always going to learn. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be 100% at anything. It doesn't matter if you've been teaching for 1 year, 5 years, 30 years. Building those relationships with your coworkers, allowing them to help you, help mold you, having a mentor teacher, having people around you that have been in your shoes and that can really shape the dynamics of a teacher that you are, it really helps. Also, building relationships with parents. I've called parents and literally gotten emotional with parents on the phone call because I didn't even know that student was going through all of that. And the fact that I'm over here trying to stitch on their child, like such and such did this and that and the third, and this is what you need to do about it. Just taking back and just listening and just hearing how the parents truly need teachers. Like, they truly need us to get the job done. You're literally working with the parent. That student's in at school, maybe in your class for a couple hours, but that student is in school for 8 hours a day. Who knows what the parents are doing? The parents probably working 2 jobs to make ends meet. And to really build that relationship with the parents, saying that I'm on your side, I'm on your team, I got your back, I will update you on the growth of your child. I'm not against your child. I want the best for your child as well, because I know that you don't know what else to do for them. Like me just badgering you about your child or just, complaining to you about your child doesn't make it any better. And I have parents that say, I don't know what else to do, Ms. Hawkins. Like, I've been doing all that I can. So at this point, feelings get put to the side and you go into selfless educator mode. Okay, what can I do to not only make the parents' life easier, make my life easier, and make the students' life easier? What can I do? Because there's always something to do. There's always different things to switch up in how you run your classroom or how you teach that might lessen the constant issues that come about. Building those relationships with parents, really truly understanding the parent, that way you can understand the child, makes a huge difference. Building relationships with the students make a huge difference. And also building relationships with other teachers to help mold you, help grow you in a season where you know nothing. You will know nothing. You know nothing. You know nothing. Even the knowledge that you do know from school, you still don't know nothing. Those are my 5 different reasons or things that I wish that I knew before teaching. There's a lot. It's a lot that goes into teaching. But if you truly believe and feel in your heart that this is the route for you, truly get comfortable with being uncomfortable and not knowing, and learning every day, every second, every minute, every class period. Just get comfortable with learning and watch how you grow as a person and you grow as an educator, and how your students grow. Because truly, if you aren't growing, then your students won't grow. I hope that this video helped. I will be making more videos, so please stay tuned. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Go ahead and like this video, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.